بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Hello everybody, this is our final lecture in the module How to Paraphrase. And in this module, as I have promised, I will be revising the previous 3 lectures and the main points of the module. So, the previous 3 lectures were on consecutively what is paraphrasing, how to paraphrase, and then plagiarism. I explained a few terms that I have used so that it is easy for you to follow. When I say text, I mean work or actual wording of something written. When I say work, it means term papers, photographs, songs, charts, graphs, diagrams, or images. Author or writer, as I use it in this presentation, it means the author of the original work or the reference. When I use researcher, it means you, the researcher, or the person interested in doing research. Cite. To cite or to document is to acknowledge the reference through writing it down according to designated style. That's to say either LLA, APA, or Chicago. And the noun form is citation or documentation. The way we do it is going to be seen again in this revision in the coming slides. Finally, plagiarism is a major term in this course, and it means literally stealing or either you do it intentionally or unintentionally, stealing others' works or part of them. So in lecture 1 we discussed what is paraphrasing. We've seen examples. I started on the sentence level and I gave you an example, and I told you definitely each one of us will have different ways of rewording the sentence. When I say rewording, it means using different words and probably different structures to express the same meaning. So we keep the content, we keep the ideas, we keep the meaning, but we change the language. And when I say the language, I mean the words and the structure of the original text. Why we need paraphrasing? Paraphrasing is an important skill for writers, for students who are about to get their exams in the IELTS, the TOEFL, the APA, all require paraphrasing skills. It is of particular importance for researchers because usually when we make use of research in our area done before our research, when we review the literature, we need to mention other works, but we need to put the content in our own language. So it is a skill, a very important skill that is a researcher and a writer and a student has to have. Now, this skill requires 2 major skills, which are analytical skills, in order to understand the original text and to be able to recognize the main ideas, the details in it, and then think of how to put it in one's own language. And here we need the second type of skill, which is the linguistic skill. You need language in order to express other people's ideas in your own words. Then we had a look at the difference between a summary and a paraphrase, both being skills that are used by researchers. And the third way of note-taking is quoting. I'll explain that in details in a minute. And then we've seen examples of each one. You can refer to lecture 1 to see the examples in details. So, where does paraphrasing come in the process of research writing? If these are the 10 steps for doing research, here comes paraphrasing. It is at the stage of taking notes. And definitely when you take notes, sometimes you do paraphrasing meticulously and it is final. You put the paraphrase and it is ready just to move to the body of your paper or your work, or you can just, put down certain ideas and references to where you have found that, and at the time of writing, you can do the paraphrase and you can do the, all the necessary requirements to do paraphrasing or quoting or summarizing well. It is advisable to do it at the early stage of note-taking because that would save you time and effort. So, note-taking can be or can take 3 different shapes. It can take the form of a paraphrase, a quote, or a summary. Differences, as you can see, quotation means you take exactly what is found in the reference. That is to say, what you take is going to be exactly the same. It's going to be identical to the original. That's why when we do quoting, we have to show that we have taken it or we have borrowed it from the original by putting quotation marks, and then in all 3 types of note-taking, quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing, we need to cite. What is to cite? To acknowledge the reference from which we have taken that idea. Paraphrasing means putting a passage from source material into your own words, while summarizing means putting the main ideas, all main ideas, into your own words, including only the main points. So go back to the examples, please, in lecture 1 to see in detail the differences, because sometimes students confuse paraphrasing with summarizing. So summarizing, mainly the difference is that you take a specific idea and you put it in your own words, while summarizing, you take a longer passage, then you shorten it by taking only the main ideas and you forget about the small details.